I will go over section 2.2, trigonometric functions of a non-acute angle. From the section 2.1, I hope you memorize now that sine 30 degree is 1 over 2, sine 45 is square root of 2 over 2, sine 60 degree is square root of 3 over 2. And of course, cosine 30 is square root of 3 over 2, cosine 60 is 1 over 2, cosine 45 is same as same. These are the number you must memorize to follow the next sections. Now, to use section 2.2 of a trig function of non-acute angle, bigger than acute angle, the angles that sit in quadrant 2 or 3 or 4 angles, we use reference angle. What is reference angle? Reference angle is a positive acute angle formed by terminal side of the angle theta and x-axis. And it has to be acute and positive. So let me look at what acute angle is with an example. So this one is example 1. Now you see the angle theta equals 210. And 210 is in quadrant 3 because 100, this one is 180 plus 30 degree. So 180 straight angle over here plus 30 degree more, and which gives you 210 degree. Now angle terminal side of 210 is here, and now this terminal side with the x-axis right here forms a positive acute angle 30 degree, and so here 30 degree is the reference angle of 210 degree. Then how do I use the reference angle to find the sine 210 degree? Here is how it works. Sine 210 degree is a plus or minus sine the reference angle. And now if we follow that rule of all trig functions are positive, sine function is positive in quadrant 2, tangent function is positive in quadrant 3, cosine is positive on quadrant 4. So this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, where x and y are both negative, and quadrant 4. Now we memorize this by all student takes coffee. Now sine in quadrant 3 is negative. Since tangent is positive, cotangent is positive, sine and cosine, all the others are negative. That's what this implies. And so since the sine 210 is equal to plus or minus sine the reference angle, you know it is, so I drop the plus sign. And so sine 210 is negative sine 30 degree. And which give you, knowing that you memorized sine 30 is half, so it's negative half is sine 30 degree. Now cosine 210 is plus or minus cosine the reference angle 30 degree. Now cosine is negative in quadrant 3 because tangent is positive, which implies cosine is negative. So I drop the plus sign. So cosine 210 is the same as negative cosine 30 degree. Now cosine 30 is square root of 3 over 2. The value is negative, and cosine 30 is square root of 3 over 2. Now what is tangent 210? Tangent 210 is the same as a plus minus tangent the reference angle 30 degree. But in quadrant 3, tangent is positive. So in this case, I will drop the negative sign and keep the plus sign. Tangent 30 degree is square root of 3 over 3. And this is how I use the reference angle to find the trig functions of non-acute angles. Now let's see. If theta equals 315 degree, 315 degree is, if the angle theta equals 315 degree, and that's a 360 degree complete turn, take away 45 degree. So it's a 45 degree short from 360. So it's quadrant 4. So 315 is 40 degrees short from 360. So the angle 315 is sitting on quadrant 4. So when theta equals 315, the reference angle is 45 degree. So here, sine 315 is equal to plus or minus sine 45 degree, but all function positive, sine positive in quadrant 2, tangent positive in quadrant 3, cosine positive in quadrant 4, which means in quadrant 4 sine is negative. So I will drop the plus sign. So sine 315 is same 45, and sine 45 is square root 2 over 2. So we keep this negative, and sine 45 is equal to 2 over 2. So sine 315 is equal to negative sine the reference angle 45, which is equal to negative square root 2 over 2. Cosine 315 equals plus or minus cosine the reference angle. But cosine in quadrant 4 is positive, so in this case I dropped the negative. So cosine 315 is same as a positive cosine the reference angle, 45 degree, equal to square root 2 over 2. Tangent 315 equals to, tangent in quadrant 4 is negative, so negative tangent the reference angle, and tangent 45 is 1, so tangent 315 is same as negative 1. And this is how we use reference angle. Now we look at one of the angle that has 60 degree as a reference angle. Here it is, second quadrant is going clockwise. And so negative 180 plus 6 minus 60. So 60 degree more than negative 180 to clockwise. So 240 is negative 180, and you turn 60 degree more clockwise. Because of that, positive acute angle formed by terminal side of 240 and x-axis is 60 degree. So negative 240 degree, if that is theta, the reference angle for that one is 60 degree. Don't forget, reference angle is always terminal side with the x-axis, and it's positive acute. Now, how would you use this reference angle? So sine negative 240 degree is equal to plus or minus sine the reference angle 60. But in negative 240 is in quadrant 2, and sine is positive in quadrant 2. So I will drop the negative sign. So sine negative 240 is equal to sine 60 degree, which is square root 3 over 2. Cosine negative 240, and it's in quadrant 2 angle, is the same as a negative cosine the reference angle 60. So it is negative half. Cosine 60 is half, and there's a negative sign, it gives negative. So cosine negative 40 is in quadrant 2 angle because you're turning clockwise 240 degree. Now tangent negative 240 is a negative tangent 60 degree in quadrant 2, so tangent is negative. Tangent 60 is square root 3, so negative square root 3. This is how we use reference angle to find the trig functions of non acute angles. Now, there are the question where value is given to you and you have to look for angle measure like this. Now, find the least positive theta in degree measure for sine theta is negative half. So you're thinking of a reference angle. In that case, sine, so disregard the negative sign for a moment. What reference angle has a sine half? So that means the reference angle must be 30 degree. And now sine is negative quadrant 3 and 4. So what angle that contains, that has reference angle 30 degree, that has a reference angle 30 degree in quadrant 3 and 4, quadrant 3 and 4. So you should angle measure, least positive angle measure, turning this way. So the angle that you're looking for is 210 degree. And there's another angle that you're looking for is right here. That's 360 minus 30 degree, 330. But the question asks you to find the least positive theta in degree measure for which sine theta is negative half. So we are looking for the smaller one, not the bigger one. So theta must be 210 degree.